Hello everybody, Rivet here. Welcome to the Hacienda's garden. I want to start off with showing off my wife's roses. All along this fence line this spring, she has planted old-time heirloom climber roses that are very, very fragrant and look beautiful, all different colors, and she's training them to grow all up along this fence line. So by the middle end of summer, that fence should all be covered in climbers. Down there by the tomatoes, even right now, there's a cloud of beautiful rose scent that just hangs around there in the lowland, and it's very, very nice. Okay, anyway, let's start with the potatoes here. We planted the potatoes, and the patch is looking beautiful and healthy. And over here you see the row of onions, very nice. And over here are the garlics. I want to talk a little bit about that. I did a video back in October when I planted them, and they do look weedy, and I apologize for that, but I've used wheat straw, and so we've also got a crop of wheat going amongst the garlics. But the wheat has shallow roots, and it's mainly in the straw mulch, not really in the dirt, so it's not harming the garlics. This first row over here on the left is the Spanish Rojas, which are nice, looking good and healthy, and we'll be harvesting them here by the end of this month. The center row, which I'm really proud of, are the Transylvanian ones, and I want to show you how thick these stalks are. The bulbs were rather large to begin with, but wow, these are jumbo looking. And of course the cats like to nest in there. And then on the far row, those are the Hungarian reds. So they're another good pungent standard garlic. And where can I grab this here? Let's see that. So that's good. They're looking very nice. Over here at the base of the compost heap, I've planted a pack of long Asian green green beans that Nicole, Super Sly Fox, sent me. Originally she had sent me a pack and I'd planted them here, but then we got that freak snow and 2 days of solid frost and they died. So thanks, Nicole, I appreciate the seeds. They're there. They're going to climb up and grow on the compost. Over there in the patch we had cilantro, and we had 2 rows, one of beets and one of corn. But you've all heard about those tornadoes that struck Oklahoma, which is only about 2 hours less, 100 miles west of here. They also brought tons of rain, so the row of carrots got washed out, and most of the cilantros, you only see a little bit over there. But fortunately, with the sun that came occasionally, I do see the beets coming up. I originally thought that they had been washed out too, but they're not. So thankfully we have beets. Over here is my chili pepper row, and over here on the far left are the habanero reds. I built these little cages, and you can see how small the peppers are way down in there. Unfortunately, with the rains, this row got washed out, but I was able to rescue them because they all washed out down there, and I replanted them. So you can see I put fresh earth and rehilled them, and they're looking better. These are the yellow brain strain. T-Mutter, Todd sent me all these 3 varieties. And over here are the brown, what are they? The Jamaican brown habaneros. And I planted them kind of early, but they really got beat up with those rainstorms and the hail. But they're doing well. I mean, they're living, they're growing, so I'm happy. Over here under this tree, I've got 4 serranos. On the other side, I got 4 jalapenos, and then I got a row of 4 tiburon peppers. Over here, the kale, the collards, and lettuce, but that all got washed away, as well as this first of 6 rows of purple bush beans. We replanted some. That lettuce way down there came out of a pot my wife had planted earlier this spring, and she replanted it, and it came out well. So over here are the 5 remaining rows of purple bush beans, and though they look weedy, they are starting to come up. Here I have 3 rows of black garbanzo beans. They're wonderful. They're doing very well, and they're beautiful plants. They look like ferns. So it looks like I'm growing a row of ferns. Here I have an interesting situation. I got 4 rows, 1, 2, 3 row of okra. I got 2 rows of emerald dwarf. Then I had the Lee dwarf and the millsap white. All of them are heirlooms, but these daggone rabbits are connoisseurs, and they have decimated these 2 rows and left these alone. I seeded them all as thick, and all I got is an occasional nub of okra. They ate all the leaves. So I've got seeds on order. They should arrive today, and I've got to reseed these 2 rows. So they really enjoy the Lee dwarf and the millsap white okra, and who can blame them? Okra's tasty. Over here I've got 6 or 8 plants. Those are Marconi, the sweet Italian heirloom peppers that are great for grilling. Over here I got the tomatoes. I built these cages here because I got a late start and the tomatoes are very small, but I transplanted them a couple days ago and they're healthy, so they're doing well. And these cages are what my wife calls the feline discomfort devices. It prevents these crazy cats from laying down on the plants and smashing them, which they do. They got the whole area, but they want to lay on the plants. So anyway, this row here is the Costoluto de Genovese, which are a very serrated, lobed tomato that is intensely flavored. It looks like a knobby grapefruit once it's peeled with all the lobes, so it's very pretty. This one here, this row here, and these feline discomfort devices are made out of green enamel plastic covered wire. Those are the Paul Robesons, and I got 8. I got 8 Costolutos and 8 Paul Robesons here. In this row, my wife planted gypsies, which are a Ukrainian purple variety that are the darkest of the purple tomatoes and have super deep flavor. So that was interesting. We're going to try that this year. And we dedicated this year this row of cucumbers. We got straight 8s and some other kind of variety here because the area back where we usually plant them, we're planting long red Asian beans there, and I'll show you that in a minute. Okay, over here in the closer garden by the house, that's the row where we normally put the cucumbers in. We've got those long, yard-long red Asian beans. Here, this year, we've got 4 spots where we're growing some squash, and my wife makes her feline discomfort devices out of locally available things, which are twigs and sticks, and they work just as well. This patch over here, these 4 areas, that's where the eggplant's going to go. They're still germinating in pots, so once they're big enough, we'll transplant them there. So here's some of the super hot peppers still germinating. As you can see, they're not big enough to transplant yet. I got some there, and I got another tray in the house in my light box. So they're going in the fallow areas that are full of weeds that you see now in the garden. Anyway, thanks for joining me. It's good to see you again. Thanks for taking part in my garden update.